Dear students, in the last video lecture, I discussed the concept of dependent sources. Then I also discussed Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. In this video lecture, I am going to discuss previous year questions asked in GATE examinations on the topic basics of network theory. So I'll discuss the questions asked in electrical engineering branch. I'll discuss the questions asked in electronics and communication engineering branch. So let's start with first question. See this question. This was asked in GATE to 1999 electrical engineering. Here the circuit is given. We have to find the equivalent resistance between B and Y terminal. We have to find equivalent resistance between B and Y terminal. So let us see how to find. Come to the solution. We see that the circuit is given. This is B, this is Y. Now we see again here this capacitor is CS, this is CS. Now you see that this is the ground terminal and you see that this ground terminal is common to this terminal also. So we have B terminal, we have Y, and let us give another name, that is A terminal. This point is A, this point is A, this point is A, this point is A. So let us redraw the circuit. So when we redraw the circuit, this is B, this is Y, and this is A. This is A. So B and Y, it is CC, again CC, again CC. Clear? Next, we are having two more capacitors. See, capacitance CS is connected between B and A. CS is connected between B and A. That means B and A, there is another capacitor. It is CS. Similarly here, you see between Y and A, another capacitance CS is connected. That means between Y and A, we are having another capacitance, that is CS. Clear? Now we have to find the equivalent capacitance between B and Y. So what do you see? You see these two capacitors are in parallel. So when the capacitors are connected in parallel, their capacitances are added. So let us draw the equivalent circuit. It will be like this, CC. Now these two capacitors will be replaced by single capacitor. You are having B, you are having Y. Now what will be the value of this capacitance? This will be CC plus CS. Similarly here also it will be CC plus CS. This terminal is A. Now what will happen? You see that this is one branch, this is another branch. Now here these branches are connected in series. These are equal capacitances. So when these are connected in series, what will be the equivalent capacitance? Equivalent capacitance will be, you will replace by single capacitor. This is Y, this is B. So when these two are connected in series, capacitance will be divided by 2. So here the capacitance will be CC plus CS divided by 2. Here the capacitance will be CC plus CS divided by 2. Now you have to find the equivalent capacitance. So here these two branches are connected in parallel. So when these two branches are connected in parallel, so what will be the value of equivalent capacitance? Its equivalent capacitance will become BY. Equivalent capacitance C equivalent will become equal to CC plus CC by 2 plus CS by 2. That means you can write 1 by 2 into 3CC plus CS. 1 by 2 into 3CC plus CS. This will be the value of equivalent capacitance. So your first question is clear. Next come to second question that has been asked in GATE 2001 electrical engineering. So see the question. It is given that two bulbs of 40 watt and 60 watt ratings are connected in series across the mains. They are saying, question is that you are having two bulbs are connected in series across the main supply. Clear? This is L1, this is L2. It is of 40 watt. Its rating is 60 watt. Then four options are given. First, they are saying the bulbs together consume 100 watt, bulbs together consume 50 watt, 60 watt bulb glows brighter. Fourth option is 40 watt bulb glows brighter. Let us see how to solve this type of question. Think about this rating. Here it is connected to plus minus V. Next, think about this rating 40 watt. When was the rating of bulb? 40 watt means what? 40 watts means what? When the bulb alone was connected across V. When the bulb alone was connected across V, at that time its rating was 40 watt. At that time its rating was 40 watt. Now here what happens? Two bulbs are connected in series and the overall connections has been connected across voltage V. So let us see how to solve this question. See, for bulb 1, P1 was given 40 watt. So what do you know? Power consumed is equal to V square divided by R1. So from here you can write R1 is equal to V square divided by 40. R1 is equal to V square divided by 40. Similarly, resistance of second bulb will become V square divided by 60. Resistance of second bulb will become V square divided by 60. V square divided by 60. Now let us check the options. They are saying that the bulbs together consume 100 watt. So when the bulbs are connected together, then what will be the power? In series connection, the bulbs are connected together. Its resistance is R1, its resistance is R2. So power consumed will be how much? Total voltage is V square divided by R1 plus R2. V square divided by R1 plus R2. Here it is V square divided by. Instead of R1, you can write V square by 40 plus V square divided by 60. So V square will be cancelled out. Here the term will be, you will get it equal to 24 watt. That means you see that when these two bulbs are connected in series across the mains, these two bulbs together will consume 24 watt of power. That means first option is wrong, second option is wrong. Next come to third option. Next come to third and fourth option. They are saying 60 watt bulb glows brighter. Second, they are seeing 40 watt bulb glows brighter. So let us see how to check this one. When the bulbs are connected in series, so now what will happen? You will see that a current I will flow through this bulb. These two bulbs, current I will flow. So when current I is flowing through these two bulbs, you will see that then you can write power P1. You can also write it as equal to I square into R1. Similarly, power P2 will be I square into R2. Now, P1 what can you write? I square into R1. Instead of R1, you will write V square divided by 40. And P2, you will write I square into V square divided by 60. V square divided by 60. So what do you see? You see that the power P1 is some constant divided by 40. Power P2 is some constant divided by 60. It means you can say P1 is greater than P2. P1 is greater than P2. P1 is greater than P2. That means you can say that 40 watt bulb glows brighter. This is very important question, very important concept to remember. 40 watt bulb glows brighter. Clear? 40 watt bulb glows brighter. Next, I am giving you one task. You have to find the value of P1. You have to find the numerical value of P1 as well as the numerical value of P2. You have to find P1 as well as P2. So it is up to you how will you find P1 and P2. Or you can say here P1 plus P2 is equal to how much? You already know P1 plus P2 is equal to 24 watt. You have already got this expression. Now what do you know? P1 by P2. P1 by P2 will be nothing but 60 divided by 40. It will be equal to 3 by 2. That means P1 is equal to 1.5 P2. P1 is equal to 1.5 P2. From here you can easily write P1 plus P2 divided is equal to 24. That means instead of P1 you write 1.5 P2 plus P2 equal to 24. That means 5 by 2 P2 is equal to 24. That means P2 is equal to 48 divided by 5. Once P2 is equal to 48 divided by 5, so what is the value of P1? P1 is equal to 3 by 2 P2. That means 3 by 2 into, instead of P2 we write 48 divided by 5 to 24. That means 72 divided by 5 watt. 72 divided by 5 watt. So you can easily write the value of P1, value of P2. Because since this question has been asked in GATE examination, so it may be possible that in the upcoming GATE examinations, these type of questions can also be asked, that you have to find P1 or you have to find P2. Clear? Next come to third question that has been asked in GATE 2009 electrical engineering. First I am discussing 5 to 6 questions of electrical engineering. Then we will discuss 5 to 6 questions of electronics engineering in this video lecture. Now come to third question. Third question they are saying that how many 200 watt 220 volt bulbs connected in series would consume the same total power as a single 100 watt 220 bulb. That means according to the questions you are having two types of bulbs. First you are having 200 watt 220 volt bulb. Clear? And you are having second bulb as 100 watt 220 volt. Now they are saying that you have to connect 200 watt 220 bulbs in series. You have to connect 200 watt bulbs in series. Now they are asking you the number of bulbs that will be connected in series so that it will consume the same total power as a single 100 watt 220 volt bulb, as a single 100 watt 220 bulb, 220 volt bulb. That means you know that the power consumed is equal to P consumed, it is given how much? 100 watt. How much? 100 watt. Now when you are connecting the many bulbs in series, so you will have to write the resistance of first bulb, that means 200 watt 220 volt. What will the value of resistance? Resistance is V square divided by P1. So V square is 220 square, or let us, it will be simply V square divided by 200. R1 is equal to V square divided by 200. R1 is equal to V square divided by 200. Now when you are connecting the many bulbs in series, you are connecting many bulbs in series across the voltage supply of 220 volt. Across the voltage supply of 220 volt, or you can say it as V volt. You can say it as V volt. So what will be the value of power consumed? Power consumed will be equal to V square divided by total resistance. V square divided by R equivalent or R total. R equivalent or R total. That means you can write R equivalent equal to V square divided by P. R equivalent equal to V square divided by P, and P will be what? Power consumed by single bulb. That should be equal to power consumed by single bulb. That means V square divided by 100. V square divided by 100. That means R equivalent should be V square divided by 100. Now resistance of one bulb is V square by 200. You know that resistance of one bulb is V square by 200. So if you connect two bulbs in series, then resistance will become V square by 100. Then the resistance will become V square divided by 100. So that will be equal to this resistance. That means two bulbs should be connected in series. Two bulbs should be connected in series. That means its answer is 2. Its answer is 2. That means two bulbs should be connected in series. Clear? So third question is clear. Next, come to fourth question. You can see all the questions are very easy and a bit tricky. Come to fourth question that has been asked in GATE 2010 Electrical Engineering. Fourth question. It is given that you are having a source and a resistance of 1 ohm is connected across the source. Current is I, voltage of the source is V. Now they are saying source has a load line of V plus I equal to 100. V plus I equal to 100. What does it mean? It means this is the terminal voltage V and this is current I. So this voltage and current has a relationship of V plus I equal to 100. It has a relationship of V plus I equal to 100. Now they are asking you to find the value of load current I. They are asking you to find the value of load current I. So think, how can you find the value of load current I? To find the value of load current I, what you will have to do? You will have to convert V in terms of I. You will have to convert the variable V in terms of I. So think how you convert. See, voltage across this source is V, means what? Here the voltage is V. That means the voltage across this terminal is also V, because there is no any resistance connected between load and source. So the resistance, that means voltage across 1 ohm resistance is equal to V. So if voltage is V, then you can write what will the value of current? Current will be equal to nothing but voltage divided by resistance. So here, from here I is equal to V, or you can write V is equal to I. If you can write V equal to I, then from equation 1, you have to put this value in first one. It will become I plus I is equal to 100. From here you can write I is equal to 50 ampere. So you can see how easily you answer the fourth question. The current will be 50 ampere. Current will be 50 ampere. Next come to fifth question. Question number 5. Asked in GATE 2013 in electronics instrumentation. You see, the paper for network theory was common for electronics communication and instrumentation engineering in the year 2012 as well as in the year 2013. So this question was asked in all the three branches. It was given that you are having a delta network. There is a delta network, and now this network has been converted into a star. Now this network has been converted into a star. Clear? This is RA, RB, RC. This is RC, RB, this is RA. Clear? It is saying that if all the elements of delta are scaled by a factor of k, here saying that all the elements of delta are scaled by k, then the corresponding star equivalent will be scaled by a factor of. Then corresponding star equivalent will be scaled by a factor of. They are saying that suppose here the resistance was 1 ohm, here it was also 1 ohm, here also it was 1 ohm, then it is being multiplied by a factor of k. That means next the resistance will become k ohm, resistance will become k ohm, resistance will become k ohm. So now they are saying that what will be the effect on these resistances, these equivalent star resistances. So let us see how to solve this question. You will have to apply the delta to star conversion formula. You will have to apply delta to star conversion formula. D to S, that means divide by sum. That means remember the trick, divide by sum, divide by sum. So what does it mean? It means if you are writing RA, so RA is equal to divide by sum means RAB plus RBC plus RCA, RCA, and at the top it will be RAB into RAC. Now what is happening? Actually I am, for your convenience, I am taking it RAB, RAC and RBC because here it is given RA, RB and RC. Clear? Next, what is happening? RA dash, you have to calculate RA dash, that means the resistances of delta connection has been scaled by k, means KRAB into KRAC divided by KRAB plus KRAC plus KRBC. Clear? If you take k as common, at the numerator it will be k square, denominator it is k. So what will happen? You will write RA dash will become equal to k into RA. RA dash will become equal to k into RA. That means you can say that these quantities have been scaled by a factor of k. These quantities have been scaled by a factor of k. These quantities have been scaled by a factor of k. You can see that how easy question was asked in GATE 2013 based on star delta conversion. That's why all the topics are equally important for point of view of GATE examination. Here remember one more thing. Here remember one more thing. If you are having the resistances in star, clear? And here you are having the resistances in delta. You are having the resistances in delta. You see, star means, suppose you are having the equal resistances in star, R. Clear? You are having the equal resistance. Now it is being converted into delta. It is being converted into delta. So when you are going from star to delta, when you are going from star to delta, it will be, resistance will be multiplied by 3. When you are going star to delta, resistance will be multiplied by 3. So you can directly write the value 3R. Clear? Next, if you are coming from delta to star, if you are coming from delta to star, then resistance will be divided by 3. Resistance will be divided by 3. Resistance will be divided by 3. Clear? Now, if you are having inductor in place of resistance, then for inductor also same thing will be applicable. But if there are capacitors in place of resistors, if there are capacitors in place of resistors, Then what happens with capacitors? Capacitors, the reactance is equal to 1 by omega C. That means here it is R, so here it will be 1 by C. That means the everything will be opposite. That means if capacitors are connected in a star, suppose 3 capacitors are connected in a star. Let us connect 3 capacitors in a star. Clear? C, C, C. So now when you convert them in delta. When you convert them in delta, so what will happen? Resistance is being multiplied by 3. Capacitance will be divided by 3. Capacitance will be divided by 3. Capacitance will be divided by 3. Clear? Let's come to next question. Let's come to next question. See the next question number 6 that was asked in GATE 2014 Electrical Engineering. GATE 2014 Electrical Engineering. It was given that they are asking you the total power absorbed by the 3 circuit elements is equal to. They are asking you the total power absorbed by 3 circuit elements. You have to find the total power absorbed by these circuit elements. Let us see how to solve. First, let us see how will you know that power is being delivered or power is being absorbed by the battery. So here, very important part I am discussing. See. Here it is. See the 4 combinations. I. Here it is I. It is I. Here it is I. You are having 4 figures A, B, C and D. Now you have to write whether the power is being absorbed or power is being delivered. So let us see how to check this one. See, this is the positive terminal of battery. If this is the positive terminal of battery. So now if you are having a generator, and generator is generating some power, that means what? It means if generator is generating some power, it means through the positive terminal of the generator, the direction of current is outward. Then you can say that generator is generating the power. Generator is generating the power. So here what do you see? At the positive terminal, the current is in downward direction. That means current is entering the positive terminal of battery. This is only possible when battery is being charged. This is only possible when battery is in charging mode. So you can say that this mode is charging mode. Charging means what? Some power is being absorbed by the battery. So here first is absorbed. First one is absorbed. Come to second one. Here the positive terminal of the battery is plus. Current is coming out from the positive terminal. That means battery is delivering the power. Battery is delivering the power. It means it is discharging. you can say this is discharging. Very important concept this is. It is discharging, that means power is being delivered. Power is being delivered by the battery. Come to this point. Here what you see? Current is entering the negative terminal. Current is entering the negative terminal, and it means current is leaving the positive terminal. So when current is leaving the positive terminal, that means battery is being discharged. And power is being delivered. Power is being delivered by the battery. Similarly, in the fourth condition, minus, current is coming out through negative terminal. That means current is entering the positive terminal. Entering means what? It is charging mode, and if it is in charging mode, then here power is being absorbed by the battery. Power is being absorbed by the battery. Clear? This is very, very important point. This is very, very important point. So let us see. Now come to the solution of the question. Come to the solution of this question. Here, this current is 10 ampere. This current is 8 ampere. This current is 10 ampere. This current is 8 amperes. So what will happen? At this node, 10 ampere, 8 ampere, that means 2 ampere of current is entering here. 2 ampere of current is entering here. So now you have to write total power absorbed. Total power absorbed. So total power absorbed. Come to first one. First battery, current is entering the positive terminal. That means power is being absorbed. Power absorbed means 100 volt into current I, 10 ampere. Plus second case, come to this battery. Here you see that current is leaving the positive terminal of the battery. That means power is being delivered by the battery. If power is being delivered by the battery, it means here if you are taking the power absorbed, if you are calculating power absorbed, then power delivered will be taken as negative. So here it will be 80 into 8. Plus third case you see current is coming out from the positive terminal. That means power is being delivered by this battery. So here again it will be minus 15 into 2. Minus 15 into 2, that means 1000 minus 640 minus 30, that means 330 watt. So power absorbed is equal to 330 watt. Power absorbed is equal to 330 watt. Clear? Next come to seventh question. Come to question number 7. It was asked in GATE 2015 electrical engineering. The question is given, you are having a network N1, you are having a network N2. There is a resistance 2 ohm. Next, minus plus 6 volt 3 ohm, 2 ohm plus minus 2 volt minus plus 5 volt. This circuit is given. They are saying what is power delivered by 5 volt source. What is power delivered by 5 volt source? You have to calculate power delivered by 5 volt source. How will you calculate power delivered by 5 volt? How will you calculate? To calculate power delivered, you will have to know how much power is coming out from this battery. So how much current is coming out from this battery. So to calculate the current, how will you calculate? Here see, it is given 3 ohm resistor, potential drop of 6 volt. Here it is plus, here it is minus. It means you can say through this terminal current of 6 divided by 3, that means 2 ampere of current is flowing through this terminal. Similarly, here it is plus, it is minus, 2 ohm resistance. You can say 2 divided by 2, that means 1 ampere of current is coming through this terminal. So if you apply Kirchhoff's current law at this node, 2 ampere is current is coming, 1 ampere is going in this branch. So through this branch 1 ampere of current will be coming. If 1 ampere of current is coming, you see that current is coming out through the positive terminal of the battery. So here power delivered will be how much? It will be 5 into 1, it will be equal to 5 watt. It will be equal to 5 watt. It will be equal to 5 watt. Clear? Next. Next, let us discuss question number 8 asked in GATE Electronics Engineering 2010. GATE Electronics Engineering 2010. So let us see how to solve this question. Let us see how to solve this question. Clear? Let us see how to solve this question. The question is given. (10 volt, 1 ohm, 1 ohm, 1). It is also 1 ohm. It is current of 2 ampere. Here it is 1 ohm. Here it is 1 ampere. Here it is 1 ampere. Here it is 1 ampere. Clear? Here it is 1 ampere. They are asking you power supplied by voltage source is. Power supplied by voltage source is what? Power supplied by 10 volt source you have to find. So how will you find? How will you find the power supplied by this 10 volt source? See. Come at this point. Come at this point. Actually, anyhow, you have to calculate the current delivered by this battery. Then you will multiply the current by voltage. You will get the power delivered by the battery. Clear? So now, how will you solve? You see that this is the ground or reference. If this is ground terminal, there is 10 volt battery. That means potential of this node will be 10 volt. Potential of this node will be 10 volt. Potential of this node is 0 volt. Clear? So let us assume the potential of this node as a small v. At this node the potential is a small v and apply KCL. And remember one thing, in 90% of the circuits KCL will be applied and only 10% of the circuits KVL will be applied. So you have to apply Kirchhoff's current law at this node. Let us see how to apply Kirchhoff's current law. How to apply Kirchhoff's current law? To apply Kirchhoff's current law, there are 3 branches. So let us assume the current is coming out from this one, current is coming out from this one, and current is already coming out from this one. So total the sum of all these 3 currents will be equal to 0. So let us see. The first current is, here the potential is V, here the potential is 10 volt. So what will happen? V minus 10 divided by 2 plus, second 1 ampere of current is coming out, plus 1 plus, third part is V minus 0 divided by 2. V minus 0 divided by 2, it will be equal to 0. So you can say from here V is equal to 4 volt. V is equal to 4 volt. Once you got the value of V equal to 4 volt, that means this potential is 4 volt. Here the potential is 10 volt. So now what will happen? What will happen? here the current will flowing through this one, and this current will be equal to 10 minus 4 divided by 2, that means 3 ampere. That means this current is 3 ampere. Now come to this branch. Here it is 1 ampere, here it is 2 amperes. Total current will be 3 ampere. Total current will be 3 ampere. Once you apply Kirchhoff's current law at this node, you know the current is coming out 3 ampere, current incoming is 3 ampere. That means 3 ampere of current is being supplied by this branch and it is totally coming out from this branch. So here the current will be 0 ampere. Here the current will be 0 ampere. So you can write I equal to 0 ampere. That means power 10 volt will be equal to 0 watt. Power delivered by 10 volt battery will be equal to 0 watt. Clear? Will be equal to 0 watt. Next, solve the next question. Come to the next question. See, the question was asked in electronics, electrical instrumentation, GATE 2012. GATE 2012. This is VA, this is VB, this is 2 ohm, this is VC, this is VD, R, here it is 5 volt, here it is 2 ohm, R. Now what they are given? They are saying if VA minus VB is 6 volt, if VA minus VB is 6 volt, then VC minus VD equal to what? VC minus VD equal to what? Clear? So let us see how to solve this question. How to solve this question? Here you see VA minus VB is given 6 volt. Come to the solution. VA minus VB is 6 volt. That means here it is plus minus 6. If it is plus minus 6 volt, then what will happen? 6 by 2. That means 3 ampere of current flowing through this branch. Then only here it will be. Then only here it will be 6 volt voltage drop. Next is, you see this network. See this network. If 3 ampere of current is entering this network, so here you see that this is the only one and only one exit terminal of this complete network. Suppose 3 ampere of current has been divided into these two branches. Further the current will be divided into these two branches. But at last the sum of current of all these three branches will be equal to nothing but 3 ampere. Will be equal to 3 ampere. So here the current will be equal to 3 ampere. Here the current will be equal to 3 ampere. If this current is equal to 3 ampere, this current is 2 ampere. So 2 ampere is entering here, 3 ampere is entering here. So at this node what will happen? Current will become equal to 5 ampere. At this node current will become equal to 5 ampere. 5 ampere current means there will be the voltage drop of plus minus 5 volt. That means 5 into 1. So we can write VC minus VD is equal to minus 5 volt. Answer will be VC minus VD equal to minus 5 volt. VC minus VD will be equal to minus 5 volt. Next come to question number 10. Question number 10 asks in Electronics Engineering 2014 GATE examination. I1, I2, I3, I4, I5 and I6. It is given that the resistances are R and R is equal to 1 ohm. R is equal to 1 ohm. I1 is 2 ampere. I4 is equal to minus 1 ampere and I5 is equal to minus 4 ampere. Now we have to find another currents. That is, they are given 4 different options, that I6 will be equal to 5 ampere or I5. They are given some values of I5. So different values of currents are given. You have to choose the correct option. Let us see how to solve. It is given I1 is equal to 2 ampere. Let us redraw the circuit. Now what is the best way to solve this type of questions is redraw the circuit, and then here it is given I1 equal to 2 ampere. So directly write here 2 ampere. Next, I4 is equal to minus 1 ampere. I4, this is I4. Incoming current is minus 4 ampere. That means here it will be outgoing current of 4 ampere. Here it will be outgoing current of 1 ampere. I4 is given minus 1 ampere. So here it will be outgoing current of 1 ampere. If it is 1 ampere, then this current will be how much? This current, 2 ampere current is entering, 1 ampere is coming out. That means this current will be 1 ampere. Next, I5 is equal to minus 4 ampere. I5. This current is minus 4 ampere. This current is minus 4 ampere. That means it will be upward direction. It will be 4 ampere. So if it is upward direction 4 ampere, 1 ampere is entering, 4 ampere is coming out. 4 ampere is coming out. That means 3 ampere of current is entering through this one. 3 ampere of current is entering through this one. 3 ampere of current is entering through this one, and this current is your I6. This current is your I6. So if you calculate I6 will be the sum of 3 ampere and 2 ampere. That means I6 will be equal to 5 ampere. I6 will be 5 ampere. I6 will be 5 ampere. Clear? So we solved 10 previous year questions asked in GATE examination based on basics of network theory. Basics of network theory. So you can see that the questions are very easy. Only you have to apply the concept, you have to apply the trick, then you can easily solve these questions. Now what is your task? I have already given 10 questions here. Now what you have to do? You have to play with all these 10 questions. Now you have to create 10 questions from these questions. How will you create? Somehow you will try to change the circuit. Somehow you will try to change the values. That means now you have to think of some new questions. That means you can design the new questions from these previous year GATE questions. Then you have to solve all those 10 questions, and then you have to check the answer whether you are able to solve it or not.